50% authority, that's really right too. I get the market like that. What's wrong with it?
Where's like the recording? We might want to laptop.
What's that?
Broadcasting.
Yeah. Some of them could be, so it's recording, not from YouTube.
I got 5:30.
Like the lead on speculation.
All right, we're gonna call the Public Works meeting to order. Today is January 14th. It is 5:30 PM. We're coming to you live from the Village Hall. So, we've gone to November 12th, 2025 Public Works meeting minutes.
Yeah, Gary moved to adopt the minutes as presented.
Second.
First and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Minutes have been accepted. Number 3, public comment on agenda items, 2 minutes per person, 14 minutes per topic. Does anyone have anything to say? Going twice. Moving forward. General updates on active projects.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. We, it's right here. Let's see, Newman Farms Athletic is later on the agenda, so is, bridge inspection. Lift station project, it's operational, but one pump is still not functioning properly, so we're working on that. We can have an operational.
Any idea on timing yet? Any visibility on any of that?
And a month is what I've been heard, is what I've heard.
Affect any type of operations?
You know, it does run on break, it operates more than I think it cycles like about every other Bob, we're 5 times a day or.
Yeah, we have it dialed in, so it does run.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Somebody got a handle on it.
It's moving. You don't want it sitting there, so.
Well, at least we got power.
Yes. Pineville second. Oh, actually, the Pineville edition, there's that pond that's not functioning properly. It's not draining like it was planned to.
Yep.
We finally received the geotechnical report from their consultant. And so, sometime late next week, my water resource guys will analyze it, make a recommendation on correct, what the corrective actions are. Or recommend what I recommend, a corrective action.
And actions to take place in the summer.
Spring, yeah, winter. Yeah.
This year. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that update.
And then Wineside Prairie, they're working on services and, they're gonna just keep plugging away as long as they can. There's installing services on the north side there, and I suspect, I don't know. I have my doubts if they're gonna go much longer than this week, but then just pick up where they left off in the spring.
Right. Does anyone have any questions for Chuck outside of the 2 items that will be addressed further on in the meeting? Thank you, Chuck.
Welcome.
What 5A, unfinished business, parks. Just one we're keeping on there.
Yeah, just a broad topic conversation, so essentially it's not, I just have one thing I should have put in the update and I failed to do. We will need construction observation and grant administration for the TAP grant. That requires a panel of citizens. And what we do is I solicited out to 10 engineering companies. And I got responses back from 4 that are interested in providing an application that's gonna work just like the design. If you'll some of you don't remember, and Jenna, you weren't here, but we are not allowed by the terms of that grant to, one, see the consultant's name, nor can we see the price. They simply have to evaluate that based off of their qualifications. So I anticipate that happening mid-February. So just an update on that. And I'll have that probably at the March meeting, and then we will have that in time for construction season. Anticipating April start.
April start?
Trail,
Okay. Fantastic.
weather dependent.
I'm just happy to hear it's even happened this year. One of the, I guess the only thing, in general in parks, I've reached out to Zach, in regards to a, shed that they want to put out on Larry Forest, kind of circling back with Neil on that. I would like to get more details from him on what exactly they want, and then have them come up for have an agenda item for that.
That's great.
I'll share a public update that the old warming house facility, which was the south side of the restrooms building in Veterans Park, is now dubbed Heroes Hall, where we have all of the heroes banners that were displayed on our light posts downtown from last season are now on display in that building. Where there will be some events in conjunction with the Champions and the Legion folks to host it, being open for the public to come in and view. Lee Belargin did an amazing job creating a display. For lack of a better term, if you imagine going look at carpet samples at the hardware store, you can basically look at the banners like a giant book. It's really cool. So I encourage everybody to check it out. It's pretty amazing, honoring our veteran community.
Do we have like a grand opening or something for that?
It's in the works.
Yeah.
Is it open at all times?
Not currently. We're figuring out, there is a key code lock, so we're able to share that with groups, get with Bob and determine kind of discretion on accountability there of
Sure.
getting in and out of the building and
If
making sure. it's
individuals are gonna
secure.
go there to see it though, would it be open like during the day or during the week or?
The current discussion is around hosting times that would be published of when it would be open.
Okay.
And finding volunteers to sort of make sure that
Man,
things aren't being vandalized and so forth.
Was that, were you guys gonna get those stainless steel sinks and put them in there? Is that?
We've got those. We haven't gotten that far down the road and
That's going in there.
discussion. We don't know yet.
Okay. All right, any further discussions about parks? All right, we'll be moving on to 5B, discussion, possible recommendation, fee schedule for the ball field. Everyone will look, we have been provided with this fee schedule that was drafted. Jessica, thank you.
Bob updated it, so thank you, Bob, for
Thank you.
making the final updates and working
So
very.
it's a draft.
Okay. And the guy, and you and the guys looked at it and happy with
Neil,
it?
Jim and I went through it. And,
Perfect.
removed what areas weren't really applicable, and then, kind of, we talked a lot about the reservation and their refund policy that they don't want to make it really complicated, and like, we've got a bunch of checks we gotta give back and whatnot, so it's like, well, if we drug the field, the expenses that occurred, so it wouldn't. But if they simply, we got a rain and they want to move it to a different day, not a big deal.
So Neil is mostly gonna be managing that then, and then working with Andrea or Amy to dish out the refunds?
Well, that's something yet to be determined, because Public Works we don't handle cash ever.
Right,
So we don't like take payments for things, so that would have to be determined where the payment would go. If it's a check in person or if we're gonna have an online process that I don't think we currently have.
Okay, so, maybe we should, is there a way we can test run this or something to, as far as like, we can do a fake one, or I could try signing up and go. Was it what, it's online, there's a calendar right now?
There's. I don't know if he has it activated yet. It's earlier in the year. Oh, okay.
Should we move this to village board for discussion and consideration?
So I have a question. It says no consumption of alcoholic beverages, and then it says alcohol requires permitting and licensing. So it sounds like you can get permitting and licensing or no, or just flat no alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, it should be. Read a little bit better than that. So no alcohol consumption without permit, basically. is-
Okay, so you can get a permit. Okay, so that needs to be clarified because it doesn't track now.
Thank you.
We already have a no smoking and no vaping policy out there.
Just put it in. People complain about it. Right. I don't know which is worse, having a beer or smoking a cigarette around kids.
I guess companies, I'm old enough to remember when the smoking section.
Remember Bob Swanson with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth?
Did they coach us with cigarettes hanging out of them? Yes,
My coaches did.
yes, pretty sure ours did too.
Maybe just no vaping, we don't want any of those vapors.
We put it in, so it's, yeah, for you guys to cross it off, mark it up, bad things, change things.
I think with only the. I don't know how I feel about that, no smoking or vaping.
Depends where you define your civil liberties.
Yeah, they better throw their butts away though.
Well, yeah, smoking is litter. Vaping is less litter unless you can throw those. I don't vape.
They throw those away.
Cartridges or something.
I mean, they throw those up. They're like
So they're
bitches
both,
everywhere.
so they're both litter then.
Yeah.
So do we have a general clean up after yourself policy? Let's see, okay, rake up litter. Will there be any trash cans out there? For, no, nothing really more than that.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating when you got a dugout full of Gatorade and water bottles and seeds that just take the time to clean up the dugouts. So reminder we provide every year. Some are good at it, some are terrible. Overall, it's pretty good.
Amy, do you have enough direction to clean up that language, or do you want to see one of us put that in as an edit? And give that to you as far as the no consumption of alcoholic beverages?
Yeah, I can clean it up.
Okay. We'll leave the no smoking, no vaping, and maybe see how that's enforced, and then I guess so. My recommendation, I'll make a motion to, send this to full village board with the updates. Jana had mentioned in regards to the no consumption, or in regards to the alcoholic beverages section, which Amy will update. Thank you. All right, we got first and a second. Any further comment? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Passes.
Do you want that new business? Through the board?
Yes. Thank you. Moving on. Discussion, water tower, final design. One more, please.
I would like to give a big thanks to our own member, Jessica Plurk, for her efforts in mocking this up and giving us a great platform to move this conversation down the road. I myself will, happily promote design 1 or 2.
So I think my goal is to get them down to 2 options for next week's meeting. On the 3, so, and if there's any little minor tweaks you'd like to make, not like a whole massive rehaul of them. We can do that, so if there's just one thing out of like 1 and 2 that you would like to see different. And then, are we gonna do this on both sides?
Yeah, that was the question. Is there,
Did we discuss this yet?
We did discuss it.
We-
We were trying to figure out which sides of the water tower to put it on, so it would look.
So you can see it.
See
yeah,
it from
which
both
side
sides.
makes sense, so we needed to,
Might have to take a look.
what was the cost? Was there a cost difference on that? Scott?
The only cost she said for the second logo is to like create the logo, but I don't know, I can get you those numbers as I'm talking with her. Some, at the, okay, is it KLM? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
painting company.
Got it.
yeah,
She. So wonder who she is.
Shelley was this way.
Kelly.
There's,
Yeah. But Chuck.
I can see the
I'm trying to
logo
think
from
which way it's located.
I can see it from my.
Got the old, what I call
Blue.
the 70s looking font logo on it.
I mean, it's right out there. You don't see it every
Well, I
day.
just-
Just kidding, it's dark out right now.
So,
So the recommendation is to do both sides and get a price for that. I don't think it's gonna break the bank, but I will ask.
Bob, do you know if they actually paint that on, or is it like a lacquered cut vinyl?
I'll ask. if you want.
I've always seen it painted.
Yeah, I think it's painted.
Got it.
I mean, they're already gonna be up there.
Yeah, I just didn't know, I mean,
If they did a wrap or if they
right,
painted, yeah.
She did mention the ladder on the one side of it, that we'd have to adjust based upon that one ladder that goes all the way up to the top with all those antennas, so. So we may have to move it around, it may not be directionally exactly where you guys want it, because we probably don't want it, a ladder to cut it off, but if we're gonna do both sides.
I'm torn, cause I'd love to be able to see it coming down the hill from New Richmond
Yeah,
and have it look like that,
yeah,
but then. Do you see it from 64 if you're like due south of it? I can't remember if you see it from the schools and,
Verjuice.
It's pretty far back there. I don't know if you would.
I can't remember.
I
It's
wish I
dark
would've
so
looked at it.
early.
Google Maps.
Yeah, see if you can see that and go to that.
you noticed the other day when I came down Churchill Road, I got to the stoplight, I could see the one blue Somerset, and then as I got up to where the Meadows is, I could see the other side, so it was like it was facing that, and I think what you want is maybe shifting it a little. But we'll
Oh.
have to look with the ladder, that the ladder's gonna impact everything.
Well, I think we've, we can figure those details out as we go. Do we have a motion?
To just
Well-
narrow it down to 2.
Yeah, I mean, these are fundamentally the same designs.
Just the little gold dot things and, you know, what I mean, it's almost like what's wrong, what's different in this picture.
Yeah, it's seriously just the fleur-de-lis, if you. Yeah, the maple leaves and the fleur-de-lis, I don't know if you wanted a position where the seal was on top of the words or the seal and, you know. But yeah, the seal changes are so minor, it's,
I'll recommend design 1 and 3, cause those are the. Two most dynamic.
2 different ones.
Different ones.
And then you want to explore any of the costs. That's your motion.
I think that can be full board discussion.
Yeah, I'll bring that to the full board with.
I think that'd give you guys an opportunity to look at it and figure out whether or not 2 might work or not,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah,
All right,
Well, and I just put discussion on this, just because there's no. like cost anything? I mean, like before you go to the board, just because. Who's paying for it? Where's it coming from?
It should come out of public safety.
That's not me.
No,
But come out wherever.
Okay, so this will have to. We'll have to come back to this board and then.
Oh, it can
Get
go
some
on the full board
pricing.
agenda.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, yeah. You can still put it on
Just
there.
not with,
Our
through here.
recommendation.
Right, there's no recommendation from Public Works.
Okay. So you-
Well, you recommended the two, didn't you?
I did,
One
but
and three.
it's on our agenda as discussion only.
So, yeah, we can't approve it, but
Well, what's your discussion? You can make a recommendation, you just can't make a motion.
I will publicly recommend that the full board consider design 1 and 3.
Okay, and what's the rest of the committees?
if it were a motion, I would second it.
So you concur,
Chrome or
so you can concur with the discussion, do you concur? Okay. Make a note of that.
I'd like to see what explore costs.
Yeah.
All right, great discussion.
Great discussion.
We're moving on to 6A. Recreation concept. This is exciting.
Oh.
What's this? We're talking about right now, right? Yeah. This is the fun stuff.
I need more table space.
I thought we were gonna get Toyota, or I thought we were gonna get a Camry and Cadillac. We got 4 decisions.
We got
A lot.
We got a lot to decide. It was hard to cut it off, so it's an algorithm and everything and like instead of eliminating what they would like to see eliminated. Add what they like to see added.
What's a pump track?
So it's like mountain bikes, you kind of, the kids.
A BMX.
Kind of, but you just. You can. In theory, you don't have to pedal, you can just pump, and it's, it's just kind of an undulating track. That you can take your mountain bike on and.
I gotta need to see a live example.
I could
We're
probably,
not selling the pump track very good,
Demonstrate
Chuck.
this, yeah.
We'll Google it. We'll Google it.
I mean, I could enter the meeting from here and you can see it now. but-
There's a YouTube with Chuck on it.
Yes, I gotta see it. I've seen, I picture him on a railroad track, like just one of those old cars. And that's how you get it on.
Are there 4 concepts or just 2?
Just 2.
Okay.
Just one second.
One's landscape and one is, what's the
Okay,
other
because
one?
Brandon said 4.
There was 4. Why did you?
Brandon
give it to
said
me?
4.
Yeah, why did I get landscapes and? All right, perfect. I got 4 pages, but it's landscape and portrait.
So. We're in the discussion phase openly here, or Chuck, is there? Bob, any presentation portion that you wanna?
Well, I mean, we can walk through this. So, one thing you know with the ball field is just taking advantage of the topography there. You can see while one of the 4 fields is kind of offset slightly. And that's to take advantage of kind of a hill there. So you can kind of prop up on that main field and it's. That's the intent there. And so you can see the white little, the sidewalks that kind of go around it. There's some stalls.
People are gonna be in the pond with the kayaks catching home runs.
We'll be out there tubing.
Yeah, whoa.
So,
Are you on concept 1?
Yeah,
Thank you for the clarification on that, so I know where we're talking here.
yeah, 7 is the one that's with the offset there.
Can I share my screen?
You really like Spaceballs? That came out. Schwartz be with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
was barf one year for Halloween.
Right, I can see that.
Something to-
Do you have any photos?
What if kids ride skateboards on that?
So I guess these are becoming more and more popular, but this is sort of what a pump track is for people to ride their scooters and their bikes and they can kind of get a full, what I'm assuming is like some sort of full body workout.
What is the terrain, the turf?
Rubber. Track, is it like track or dirt?
Yeah, I would assume it's some sort of like hard rubber type of, again, I'm an engineer. I'll get you those answers.
Okay, definitely not the sales guy.
Yeah, exactly. I can Google a picture, but,
He's definitely not partaking in that either.
Are they?
When we first
no
up-
maintenance? Do you have it? I don't.
Let's not get caught up on,
Clearly, stated that
let's not get caught up on the pump track. That's only on concept 2 or
That's-
concept 1 right now.
I'll come armed with more pump track information.
I don't spend too much time on that. So are we going to concept 1? Were you pulling that up? That was,
Oh, did you want,
yeah, give me. your
everybody has a
thoughts on it.
copy here.
Yeah, we paid a lot of money for this truck. Come on, give me the presentation.
Well, it's a little bit small. That's why we brought hard copies, is because we
Okay,
figured that would be.
So the biggest difference is concept one has a little bit less amenities than concept two.
I don't like that.
Say that again?
It seems the other way around, I thought.
He's saying concept 1 has less amenities than 2.
What concept 1 is?
I don't know, just the other way around. though.
The other way around.
Oh, it is.
Can I ask a quick question if I may? Could you tell us concept 1, what kind of acreage we're talking about here versus concept 2? Because it does look like 1 is downsized scale wise as far as the site plan and size.
They're the same.
One looks bigger to me.
That's what I'm saying. One is
Yeah.
downsized compared to the other one. The site 2, concept 2 is a lot more condensed. Smaller footprint.
Pump track.
No, yeah, what's the thought on leaving that open space on concept? Why wouldn't we just take that whole area on concept 2?
We can,
What was the
Cost.
reasoning behind
There's
that?
it's kind of a buffer too, it's, what do you want in that buffer between the commercial portion and the residential? So that's, do you need a buffer? No,
But that was the intent.
the intent is, and it could all be just green space and have nothing up there.
and that's what I think we discussed was concept two has the definition with the soccer fields up and above, which are plain green space. And then we were just leaving that red area in concept two, just as plain green space.
Yeah.
What's a natural playground? What does that mean, natural playground? Is that different than a regular playground? And 3 on concept 1? What's the difference between a natural playground and a regular playground?
We have Eleanor question.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for you.
One's organic.
Or isn't 11 a natural playground?
Yeah,
It's green space.
and we probably should have had hindsight, I should have had Eleanor call into this meeting. And we can do that at the board meeting if you'd like. I could take a quick look here.
So I'll anecdotally share my 2 cents, just, as we're in open discussion. I showed my wife the 2 layouts and said, what questions would you have about this as a person that has taken kids to sports events for the past 15 years? She said, where is the playground in proximity to where I would sit? And what she's getting at is we always have one kid on the field and one kid roaming around aimlessly. So for that reason, she was very keen on concept one because she's likely to be sitting at
13.
ball field 1 or 8, or sorry, 7 or 8. And can quote unquote keep an eye on the other kid playing at 4. She also really liked the idea that athletics were, the typical athletic use was all confined or in one area instead of spread out. And she seemed to think that that may be beneficial if I gotta take 2 kids or 3 kids to the ball fields, one's on a ball field here, one's over there, and I gotta jump back and forth and all that stuff. And then the other thought was having that kind of secluded walking path area that's away from a lot of athletic commotion seemed like it would get more desirable use. You're not listening to fans hooting and hollering and whistles and all of those things. It's a little more serene to have that semi-isolated walking trail. Along with, I could see some possible disc golf stuff out there or.
We got plenty of disc, even I'm gonna say we got plenty of disc golf courses right now.
Open field use in that northern section on concept 1 seemed appealing to me.
I have a question in regards to where are people gonna sit? Where are the stands for the fields and scoreboards?
The thought was on item 17 there, that's that.
That's the shelter concessions restroom press box.
Building and stands on each one of those areas, so you could have viewing of all 4 fields, depending on, didn't matter where you sat, you'd be able to see that area.
And no seating on the side then or anything? There'd be walking paths?
You'd have to bring your own chair or stand or.
We could put bleachers on.
Okay.
So to answer your question about the natural playground, what that is, it's generally on a hill and it can include little rocks they can climb on, slides, gardens, sand pits, just, not just like plastic, it's just kind of wood and rocks and that sort of thing.
Well, that kind of tracks with the whole keeping the hippies and the athletes separate, kind of like what you were saying.
Sort of, but he's saying that number 4 is, that's a regular playground.
Yeah.
Natural playground.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you got two different types of playgrounds kind of close together on that. On number 2.
Where is the sledding hill? Is there a hill there where we can sled down anywhere?
Village Park.
Village Park is gonna be,
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any
there's some
topography there to take advantage of any of that.
Yeah.
12 of area 12 or anything like that. It'd be sweet to have a working sled hill
You
there.
could make a sledding hill.
I think most of the topography is where the ball fields are currently, right?
There'll be, options to move.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of dirt out
Yeah.
there.
If you want a sledding hill, we can say build a mound.
That would be cool.
So are like the 4 ball fields like a must have?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a must have, right?
And I just wanna bring up the point, cause we're on ball fields, I would really like one of them to be a premier field with lights, with grandstands. Quote unquote, the championship field, for lack of a better term.
They're
Yeah,
not lighted? None of these are lighted?
I don't know, I just wanna make sure that one of them is definitely lit.
And we did add lights into the
Okay.
cost.
So that would be number 7 is your
Yeah.
premier field?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess the question is, how much? grandstands or, seating to you desire. to-
Well, I would like it to be able for the kids to feel like Friday night. Out there playing ball is special, so I would like to have enough seating for. What we figure, a whole family, a family of four, supporting a whole team would be.
That's what I'd like to see too.
Well, I'm being somebody who lives right across the street from a ball field. I like the, putting the larger green space around where the house plot, where the house plats are on concept 2.
Buffer, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Cause it's not, but there's no buffer on 1 except that, well, none at all for the ball fields themselves.
Well, this is gonna be commercial likely, Bob,
Yeah, that would be.
industrial.
Yeah.
What is
You're
there
talking about the south side.
on concept 2?
Yeah, the 11 I'm not talking about, which is smaller on concept 1 and larger on concept
Hmm.
2.
You like to, then that kind of push it away.
Get things up.
But if there was more trees around as a natural barrier on one, would that,
Well, where would you put them? I mean, where are you?
I think we'd have to,
You'd shift that ball field up, concept 1 and then add the elements in concept 2
Uh-huh,
to make that happen,
yeah,
for sure. Yep. So I have that noted.
More residential buffering. You think this might be houses right here?
It is,
It
it's
is,
platted and,
That's fine though.
yeah,
got it. Does this include full fencing around the fields and everything, Bob?
Playgrounds or with that, I emphasize an all-inclusive playground because we do not have an all-inclusive
Oh.
playground.
yep, absolutely.
So that would,
Check.
well, any child with a disability, mobility issues.
The other thing I wanted to call out on both plans was just enough service buildings. for-
Yeah, even 6 is
Brown
tiny.
I was just gonna ask that same question. Where about bathrooms or anything like that in that northern spot up there? You're gonna make everybody come down to where's the bathrooms located at?
In the center.
Right,
right?
it's the
center.
So everybody's gotta go to complete to the center to use the restroom? Or would there be other?
Supplemented by Porter Johns or we don't wanna do that right out
Oh, yeah,
there.
maybe just first thing we could stick board johns.
Yeah, yeah.
New building like that.
Yeah,
Could we put some up by, what's 10?
13 on number 1 has. Shelter with restroom,
Oh, okay.
but, yeah, so there is shelter with restroom. So on both near the north part and the south part by the,
The 70 stall.
That's on concept 1, but nothing on 2.
yeah, on 2, yeah,
it's on there.
not on concept 2.
13.1 on the lower, but I'm talking on the north side.
Yeah, there's one on there, yeah.
Nothing,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
should say, yeah, it's the north side. Nothing on that northern section. Cause obviously everybody that would be on the ball fields would be able to use the concessions and or restrooms there.
Mhm.
But if you're up on the,
this section,
yeah, on that northern section there, yeah.
the concept 1 has,
Right, concept 1 has it, but not on 2.
right? I think we need another facility here for storage, lawnmowers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're gonna probably wanna, how much of this stuff, that's a good opportunity to get some of the stuff that's in here.
The ball fields are gonna have multiple equipment stuff for this facility, Bob. I mean, throw your 2 cents in here, but seems to me you're gonna wanna have stationed equipment for mowing and
6
all
could
that
definitely be
stuff.
bigger.
This is, you know, I imagine some form of maintenance happening here daily throughout the summer.
Yeah, and it could just be a whole, Non-heated
cold storage.
cold storage, thank you.
You know, the thought is having that storage though by the parking lot. So they can pull up and get stuff.
Well, instead of having it be this little part of the parking lot, make it this big side of the parking lot.
Or the other,
Which one, where are you
Put,
talking?
you can either, so it's right here along the short side, put it a little bigger along that side, or put it up along this side.
I would add it off of the 70 stall lot.
Sure. Okay.
And I do it in a way where you've got a separate little inlet drive that no one would park or block access to buildings. They include some restrooms and maybe a concession stand over there for the soccer events.
Yeah, that is kind of a long way to, kind of a long way to walk. You could have the back side of that storage, have like a little thing you could sell stuff out of.
Right.
So with the 140 stall then, would you lose that?
No, he wanted to put it up by the 70 stall.
Yeah, but you would have 3 bathrooms then
Yes.
That's not too many for a public.
on the south side? Yeah, I just wanna be clear, that's.
I would.
Donnie?
you have 660 stalls on, parking for concept one and only 380 for concept two. If you guys like concept one, you know, I'm fine with that. I think you could probably take some of those stalls back and look at what you're talking about for a size, take a portion of that and utilize it for a shed / bathroom and have it encompassed as one. So you'd have your utility, you know, your maintenance shed and then have a bathroom right there that attached right to it. They can come and use the bathrooms and then it'll be available for the maintenance shed and it's gonna need water. It's gonna have to be heated all year round. So you can utilize that as a multi-purpose building then.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're on the same page for
And
that.
I honestly think, you know, to answer Jenna's concerns, if they put trees along that backside on that end, I think that'll get you your buffer that you're looking for going into that road and on that side, but that north or upper left corner, that 140 stalls, you could take some of them stalls and utilize that as your maintenance shed or one of the other ones that's attached already to it, but I wouldn't do anything with taking any stalls away from that northern portion because the other one has 100 and this one only has 70. So you're already cutting stalls back, you know, for parking on that one. People would have to walk across the road. I don't know where that crosswalk is. Is there a crosswalk coming across there? Is that what you're saying there with Chuck?
The dotted line is the walking path.
Is that come across then? Is that what it does? Okay.
Yeah, with Chris.
I didn't know if that was attached and you had one path on this side and just one path on the other side.
Yeah, you can kind of see the dots. It's subtle, but you can see the dots where,
So there'll be 2 crosswalks across that, whatever road that is?
One on the east, one on the
yeah,
west,
yeah.
Okay,
or whatever.
but I do agree with your wife's analogy of having like the soccer fields and everything, and then that other one is kind of a quiet space for people to go and
Yeah.
just, you know, play or, you know, walk their dog or whatever the case may be.
Can we put a dog park in
Ooh,
on 12?
hot button. Hot button.
Well, just, I mean, Donnie knows and Caleb knows I'm donating $10,000 to the village. And to jumpstart a dog park somewhere. So, I mean, it wasn't anything here, but I just wanted to let everybody know that that's my mission.
Thank you,
Can we
Janet.
put a dog park in here, slide one in on 12, somewhere up there?
Sure, certainly.
We got.
Well, that's why I was asking what the acreage was on that this was. Because if it's only an acre or less than a half an acre, that's not gonna really work good as a.
What about
dog park?
future stormwater pond? Is that? Have any dog park viability?
Okay, these are be in, you know, people's backyards. Things, so.
They can't complain if it's there before their house is.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
There's already houses there though.
No,
No, not in that.
No, not on the top.
Willow,
the north.
It would be up in,
Field 7 is your premier field that you're asking for.
Yeah,
And those other three are. Like,
so I noticed there was a classification, right?
NFHS.
Yeah,
Does that mean like regulation, high school competition, blah, 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 and then these are more T-ball, coach pitch?
Little league.
Oh,
And
Do any of these,
14U.
do they meet the like varsity girls softball requirements?
Yes. I don't know where we scheduled, or where the distance was, but I did emphasize that.
Yeah.
Larry Forrest has, kind of wonky distances, so.
Yep, I just wanna make sure we have. I really want those to be the places where the younger kids go, I can't wait to be on that field when I get older, and, it gives, like, I had that as a kid, and we were all dreaming of the day we got to make it to that field. And it, I think, kept us all engaged more in our athletic efforts, and was kind of one of those exciting things to arrive at the first time you got to be a part of that, and it was a big deal.
where's the current barn at in relation to this? The barn?
Oh, yeah.
Is that up here?
You could see it in the background there. It's actually in the silhouette to the left. You can see right to the left of the,
This guy?
yeah.
Where's that? Right there? That's it?
yep, that's the fact, that's from,
Could we usually utilize that as storage? Keep it on.
the road go right through there.
Well,
That's all right
That's
through
a
the
problem,
barn.
that's a problem.
conceptually it does.
Yeah.
There's not any definition on any of these future roads.
But it's just a matter of having the storage shed next to the stuff you're maintaining.
Yeah, but I wanna keep the barn.
This is 35 right here.
Correct.
Are you looking at keeping the barn or the shed? Or both?
The red barn
The barn.
has been placement for historical purposes.
Okay.
I want, yeah, I would love to have that somehow play into all of this, if we can.
Can we take like, could that path to it, could that be the dog park? Like that little spread up to the back of the barn there, like from here to here? Or that'd be a lot of land, no, we don't, okay.
That's the problem is you're taking away commercial, that's how you gotta pay for all this.
We wanna keep the barn.
Yes.
It's coming in at 13 million, so,
To keep the barn?
no. No, you're adding.
That's extra.
Cost to it, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
is the pickleball courts there adequate?
There's 8 of them.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
That was it.
Never mind.
If that's not,
Answer, asked and answered.
Concept 2, there's no pickle.
I see that.
Yeah, okay.
if 8's not adequate, I'm in the wrong business, son.
Well, we'll have what?
So this all is 13 million in?
13 million, yeah.
But
Concept 1.
That's a $2 million contingency, so you could say 11 million.
There's possible grant money on that, too.
But, and let's see, what have we done now? We've added an additional storage space and bathroom so far, right?
Dog park.
But I'll worry about that later.
No bathroom, a potential sledding hill.
What do you do?
Chuck, you can look up Luana's Hill in Coldwater, Michigan. They're a man-made flooding hill, but pretty unique.
Yeah, we, Oak Grove, where I work, they made their own sled, business, yeah.
Kind of cool.
Kids love it.
Has like a switchback on the back side of it to walk up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Neat. No, they didn't go
Made
that
out
far.
of dirt, the switchback is, uh, cleverly designed, and, yeah.
Chuck, here's, I have one other quick question on comparing one and two. On the one, the drains, stormwater drains are significantly smaller than two. Two, you got a big one right there in the corner, and you got half the size of that one in the opposite corner on concept one. Are them drains going in other areas then, that we don't have to worry about them? I know you have the future stormwater pond on both of them, but, you know, just looking at the actual concept design of the size of the drainage ponds, either were insufficient in one or way over in another.
I don't know if she put any detail on that.
Yeah, I guess you lost me a little bit. You know, these are all concepts right now and not designed, but you know, we've
But
got,
concepts kind of come to, you know, give you a kind of a design of, okay, this
Yeah.
is where you're going to be. So if you're gonna shrink one or whatnot, you know, or I'm just,
well, you know, a lot of that storage pond is impervious, so
You eliminate a parking lot, they'll go down, you add a parking lot and go up, you add a back and they'll go up.
sure,
you know, and you got concept one has ball fields and some of those things that are grass, you know, they're not hardscape.
Are any of these drain tile?
Might be. Depends. Depends on the soil.
So I think we're confident in the concept, Johnny, that whatever required stormwater, we can fit on the site.
I just remember concept that we talked about putting a dog park in a specific area, and it didn't happen because we had to put storm drains in them areas. I remember the conversation on that, so.
Oh,
We'll just-
fair enough. I've got a point taken.
You know,
I
just
did
wanna
five
make
down
sure-
there. Yeah.
You know, I
Okay.
wanna make sure that we're kind of, you know, concepts are gonna be close to what we're talking about here, not something else, you know, when it come down to it. Because that had my hopes up for something that didn't happen.
Yeah, point noted. We should have probably engaged a landscape architect and some of those things earlier.
So do you wanna go back to the drawing board on these concepts one and two, or do you want, or will you have enough time? In between now and the board meeting, or do you want to come back to public work?
I think she'll have enough time to kind of tweak it. There's not a lot of tweaks. Is there anything you absolutely don't want? I mean, like the pump track, you're saying that's the dumbest thing in the world. You don't need it.
I would
don't
like
want
to
it.
learn more about that.
Well, that's on two.
I'd rather have that than a sledding hill there.
I'd love to know more about it, if it's,
Yeah, I can't, it's the latest thing or whatever, and,
well,
so, again, I can't speak on those. I understand your point though, so we'll leave it in for now.
and an alternate in that conversation is skate parks, that I would love us to consider. I've heard lots of pros and cons surrounding the world of skate parks. I know that when I drive past the New Richmond one, there's always activity out there. There's always families and kids using it.
But I think we could repurpose the space in the village, more in the village for like a skate park, kind of like,
I think we certainly could.
instead of putting it up there. But I get what you're saying.
That's
Love seeing
easier to
kids.
skateboard downtown.
Yes, skateboard downtown, the
Skateboard.
sidewalks
Yeah,
and jump curbs.
Ollies.
You're not gonna take a car to go up there to skateboard.
I don't,
Skateboard to the skate park.
Yeah.
Right?
one part of that conversation that I think we need to consider is all of this plan financially is generated from this TID, has to remain in this TID, right? Like we can pull money from this to do a skate park.
No, we could write grants to get skate parks. So
Yes.
there's a lot of money out there that we could hit up for some.
Not even if it's lighted.
But if it's delivered.
So
And then, see, there's a.
You're liking, you're
Ball
looking,
field, like the basketball courts, you think that's kind of the right
the 16,
16, yeah.
That's pretty high up on,
I think we need to have some.
Yes.
Long ways to go to find another court in town.
Yeah.
The one issue I see with the orientation of the soccer fields in this is spectating.
And
I don't go to a lot of soccer games, so I don't know what's typical. Does one team sit on one side and one on the other?
yeah, I won't put. I should have corrected and said, don't put soccer field on there because it's not a designated soccer field. It's just, I just asked for simply green space if they wanna, fly a kite up there, if they wanna play flag football, if they wanna play kickball, they have an area to do it. It's not just soccer. And
Yeah,
it might-
But they could be regulations to the soccer fields, right?
yes,
So you just put the ends on it and paint the lines, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that, the thing was, you're talking about, you could push them out 20 feet, and you'd have enough place to stand or put your thing too. It's just a matter of, yeah, you accommodate it, but whether or not you build it. Right.
I see. So that's all just gonna be flat space there, then,
and
right?
for
Yeah.
a spectator, you know why people play soccer? So they don't have to watch it.
I don't hear a lot of people clamoring for extra soccer fields. I don't hear that as much as the ball fields.
Well, I know that if I were required to go spectator at soccer field, I would have the assumption that there would be provided seating that's in a good viewing location.
Good bring a chair.
Yeah, 99% of them I've been to, you bring your own chair. My daughter can't play soccer. I watch plenty of soccer.
Got it.
All right, so. Do we think we can have this in time for the regular board meeting, or do we come back to
Next month.
next month?
We'll do our best, I think she'll be able to move stuff around. Unless she's gone for the next 2 days, which I don't anticipate she is, so.
And these things we're gonna continue to get into depth with them too. So it's still, there's a lot of work to do, so, okay, here's the pavilion now, what do you want it to look like? Here's the press box, what do you want it to look like? Here's how much this one's gonna cost versus this one. And all these other components along with that. Do you want turf? Do you want grass on the fields? Do you want concrete? Do you?
We're gonna have 75 more meetings on this.
Sounds fun, guys.
So many options. All right, we'll bring it back to the next, I think we bring it back to the committee.
But yeah, and I was just trying to think of anything else we haven't talked about. You like the paved walking paths, kind of have this circle in the site, and so we've got the right features, just more info on the pump track versus a skate park.
That was on concept two, or you guys are kind of going with concept one here, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
You can shift things over from two
Well, we
to.
wanna bring both concepts to the, do we wanna bring both concepts to the board, or should we come to the board with just the one concept?
Well,
I think you bring both,
Both.
my suggestion was,
unless you,
is that I appreciate you guys taking, trying to hone this stuff down, but I would strongly suggest that you bring it to the board and saying, this is what we're suggesting, and we'd like to go with this one. And then we and if the rest of you gain consensus from the rest of the board, then you could continue to work on defining, one or two, but based on your discussions here tonight, I can't really disagree with you and modifying, concept one to accommodate more equipment and bathrooms in that one area and maybe, maybe they might call back some of the, maybe some of the other board members might say, calm down on a couple of the, amenities or whatnot, but at least you're putting it in their hands too, before just coming and saying, this is what we want.
second,
All right, motion made. To move this forward to full board with,
I'd say you just leave these well enough alone, and then you ask,
I think
I'll tell her to be prepped for this. And then she can say, no, that's a great idea, or,
we bring this to the full board. We as a committee will share why we
want to let it
Toward
go.
one with the suggestions and then open up conversation.
do you have that motion?
Who made it?
I'll make it. One of you got a second.
Meeting tomorrow?
So the motion is to bring both
That'll let them.
both these exact concepts, and we will,
With, and assuming there'll be made some slight modifications before even that,
no,
No,
or
that's
just
it.
bring them just like this, okay?
Like this.
And then we can highlight what our discussion has been, okay, I'll second that.
Right, first and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Carried. I expect stellar presentation.
But moving,
Well, this was polishing. All right, we're gonna move on to bridge inspection report.
so just to kind of set the table here a little bit, if I may.
Absolutely. Take-
So. You know, the bridge was originally put in kind of what do we think, World War II-ish?
Yes.
And redecked in the 1980s. You know, so it's whatever that is, 34 years ago. You know, there was some improvements made in 2024. And, you know, before we get into this, recommended repairs, there have been some changes on how bridges are assessed and the eligibility for replacement as well as rehabilitation. And, you know, so the thought is that, you know, if you score 50 or lower, you're eligible for funds to replace the thing. If you score 80 or below, you're potentially eligible for rehabilitation. And that all sets you up for 80% federal, 20% local. Okay. And so how this would work moving forward in June 2027, kind of the lists and the rankings and the score would come out. You would submit applications for potential rehab. And then, you know, presumably it would be 2030 before actually something was to occur. Okay. So
First score.
Fair.
Are we below 50?
we're not, you know, it's not, I don't believe it's in the 50 range, but I do believe it's kind of in that low 80.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
kind of what I got out of Josh's things. That correct assessment?
he didn't give us a score.
No, I don't think
Overall
they
assessment,
score them.
fair.
Wait a minute. Stop. We have to get a score.
Yep.
To designate this
Yeah,
federal funding.
yep,
What's the score?
yeah, we don't know that.
Why don't we know that? That makes no sense.
I think the DOT scores it. I'll double check.
And they're not willing to share our score?
Score wasn't on the report.
My recollection of what Josh told us is that, yes, we were below the 80. But I can verify that. And if we need Rob to be or not Rob, if we need Josh to be at a future meeting to answer some of these questions, absolutely. Great.
Because overall, we have a rating of fair.
Yes, and, you know,
Okay,
because it's, you know, it's a lot of these recommendations and the challenges are related to how it was designed.
We
And
probably have a rating of fair because we just fixed it in 2024.
One, age is a factor as well.
That's what I'm saying,
Yes,
because we just shored it up in 2020.
weren't the expansion joints what were repaired?
the abutment ones
Abutment.
were, and they're fine.
So these are different expansion joints?
Yes, what the piers on 1 and 3 allow a little bit of movement, and pier 2 much more. And, you know, some of the sealers that were used, you know, and this is all per, you know, DOT requirements. We do all kinds of bridge design and repair and throughout the entire state, well, the upper Midwest. But, you know, unfortunately those sealers didn't perform and they've worn away already. A couple, and that's what you
The
see.
ones that were just repaired?
Yeah, resealed, yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, joint 2, which is, and they degraded, you know, some of those, much more in the last 2 years then, you know, things that were fine 2 years ago, there's been some additional degradation, so things we didn't improve on because they weren't needed 2 years ago. Now they need improvement, so it's one of those things where the bridge is fine, it's not gonna fall over tomorrow. It can wait for 2022, but, you know, to help you put into scoring and just know that, you know, the bridge isn't perfect. And there's, you know, it's a fracture critical bridge, it needs to be inspected every other year, and, you know, the intent of these inspections is to kind of gauge
So
from you know, year to year, how much additional sort of degrading had happened. There's also the downspout, unfortunately, that, you know, the contractor glued that has kind of slipped, it didn't hold. Or, it, you know, shifted and moved. You know, we're thinking Bob and his crew should be able to fix that rather easily with a, you know, some sort of a vertical mechanical clamp or something like that. So that's not a tremendously big deal. So it's one of those things that, yes, you know, some of the sealing work that was done has weared away already.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a warranty issue to me.
Very asked.
Yeah,
What is the
it's just,
deal here?
you know, some of it is how it's designed, you know, it's this 40-year-old design and without totally just taking it all and replacing, you know, the whole joint. You know, that's gonna be the challenge, is you can put a temporary seal in there and it'll probably wear away again rather quickly.
So it is what we did 2 years ago, was that at the cost of the village or the DOT or what?
Well, you have money, you were given money when they blessed you with the bridge. So it was your money. And again, if you want further detail, I can bring Josh into a meeting, but
I
you know,
want further detail.
you do,
Yes.
fair enough, because you know, I understand your questions, or, you know, and
This,
when I saw this, you know.
are
Bob,
the same inspectors involved with 2 years ago work as
Oh, yeah.
generated this?
Josh has done it every inspection for the last 4 years, and it's with the DOT as well.
Okay.
So there's continuity there. You know, we're signing,
In the private world, somebody gets fired for this report. So I don't understand why this isn't adding up. This is mind blowing to me that we've got all that repair work. Now we've got a litany of problems having shut our bridge down for 4 months.
We did a ribbon cutting, Chuck.
yeah. I understand your point, and you know, some of this came to light that wasn't in light 2 years ago. You know, again, I'll have to have my bridge inspector answer these questions. He'll do a much better job of
And he
articulating.
works for
Yes,
MSA.
yes.
All right, and I apologize if you feel like I'm putting the screws to you.
No, yeah, no, these are good. Bob and I had the same questions as Josh.
He got it a lot worse for me, Caleb.
It doesn't add up. This is. Like, if I'm a private business spending this money, then I'm taking somebody to court because this doesn't make any sense.
Because I think if we would have had the choice to do a lot of these repairs at the time, 2024.
Especially at the
Taking a chance.
detriment to our community of being shut down for 4 months. That was painful. That was
Yeah.
really, really rough on our village.
Mhm.
Well, I'm wondering, you know, the last one, we could, the guys could fix that. Why should our guys be fixing something that, I mean.
I
That should,
agree.
yeah,
If they aren't jumping to and warranting some of this, I'm coming for their head.
Yeah, and you know. It's
What is our recourse with the
I
country?
believe that, I could double check, but I believe it's a year warranty.
I also believe it's worthwhile to reach out to them and inform them that this failed and that
that they need to see what they can do for it, because
Yeah.
the money that was spent for them, you'd think they'd come and do that so that their name is intact as well.
Something, it doesn't make any sense. I don't. All right, we'll move on. We'll talk to the.
Point noted, I gotta bring the guy in. It's not my area of expertise.
So
Let him know what he's walking into.
do we want, so
He got it from Bob already.
bring him to the full board and have him, or do you want me to bring him here and have him?
I think let's bring them back to the committee. And yeah, all emphasis, I said, I don't wanna be talking about looking at this sprint for another 20 years, so. That was going into construction, and when I got this report, I was like. This.
Wow.
This is.
I don't wanna shut down the road again. Or I do not wanna shut the bridge down again.
Don't- I don't
This is
want
not well,
those-
I'm-
I don't want those phone calls either,
Yeah,
so I think we're all sharing.
Yeah, I mean. No,
so let's get your bridge inspector back here, follow up with the contractors, please let them know. Please have an answer from them or a position from them of where they stand on some of this stuff. Then come back to the next committee meeting with updates, please.
So, okay, Amy, you gonna put that on the agenda then? Got that for next month?
Yep.
Thank you. Moving on. 6C, alternative truck routes, Depot Street, Fletcher, right?
So I think what we can do to put this to bed is just put simply no food trucks. And put that on the no parking sign on Depot Street. I did talk to Kathy about that. She was like, yeah, okay. I did explain to her if we put no trucks on Main Street and we're pointing down here and they're trying to get to the 4 lane. And once they get down Sunrise and realize they're not going towards the 4 lane, they're gonna be turning right by your house to get back onto Main Street, so that's not an option. And she understood that. I said, when they're coming down Churchill, they should be turning left. Unless they're trying or coming from a different direction, so it should be taking enough.
do you have signs on?
We do come in,
Saying 64.
no, we can't, designate anything, that's state, so. thank you. And, you know, they have the liberty to come downtown. To get. To businesses to deliver things, so that sign would be massively confusing to truck drivers, like. I'm trying to get to the hardware store, you're not letting me get to the hardware store. Does that mean there's not gonna be an occasional semi truck going down there? Can't prevent that from happening. They're obviously, if they're gonna get to the liquor depot and they're coming from Hudson, they're probably gonna turn and go down that road regardless if there's a sign. But
Monday night, public safety had voted to, put signage out, but not do any changing to ordinances or anything. They suggested signage, so whatever you guys decide here is probably gonna go.
Well, if public safety voted on it, comes out of their budget, then, right?
Nope, we passed it to you guys. We don't buy signs, do we?
Caleb Garn make a motion to give Bob the full authority to put up whatever no truck sign wherever he wants on. What's the name? Depot Street. At will.
Okay.
Wide open, I like it. Any further comments? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, nay. Full board,
does that need to go to the full board?
does that need to go?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can just do consent.
Yeah.
there was different, deals on, but I'm sure it'll get passed.
Okay.
Do you want it on?
Slide it under
consent?
consent.
Put it on consent, and if anybody calls it out, wants to pull it off, they can.
Yeah, make it work to pull it off.
Yeah.
All right, next. 60, discussion, possible recommendation, Title 6, Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances, Public Works, Streets and Sidewalks, Sections 6-2-4 and 6-2-5. Organized material.
I struggled with understanding what this is at all in the relationship.
So you guys went with a new ordinance
Company, yeah.
company. They're going through things, noticing what is missing or wrong.
Oh, this is from that company.
Yes, so Jessica Lehman. Her note here, her issue statement is explaining what is wrong. And she has in there the green that needed to be added because things were missing.
If you went back to look at the original, remember when we went through all this, Brandon? The language that she's proposing and underline there was not included when it was submitted to, you know, after we approved everything.
But this was the wording.
That was the wording,
Oh, okay,
and all she's doing is putting it back in.
okay, so just that, those it was omitted.
Exactly. It was inadvertently omitted from when it was going into, I don't know what they call that, but
Meaningful.
Communicode, yeah. And then it was caught by them, and so that's why she's putting it forward so that it gets put back in, because otherwise it just stops right there. And there's no finishing of anything for sidewalks or the rest of that, article.
Lots of rules about concrete in here.
I'm glad to see we were hoping that they would catch things, and this is a pretty big catch that they did, so that's good. Do we know where they are on the whole project?
Not
Do you
this-
have any idea?
That's a question.
That's a question for Jessica.
Okay.
Well, if it was in there already,
AI at its finest.
yeah, may have been using the,
So we need a,
motion to approve these as presented, I would say.
Cale Grant make a motion to approve as presented to Sunlight Village Board.
Second.
First and second, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Send her on down one. All right. 6E, discussion, possible recommendation, welcome banners.
One more big thank you to Jessica Plurk.
Kathy did a lot of this one, so
And Kathy Hess.
Kathy did a lot of this one, so, we have a little bit of time for these. I just got an email from Kathy this morning. Are we putting the Memorial Heroes back up come on the light posts for the summer?
When
Or are they staying in the
they
new
go up,
house?
right,
Memorial Day,
Through Veterans Day, I thought we were gonna go through maybe.
Memorial to Veterans.
oh, is that what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so after that, they come down on Veterans is when we will consider putting up this lot one, so we have some time.
Yeah.
And basically, I think I just wanted to narrow those three down to two before next week's meeting. And really the only things that are different is the colors on the tops and the bottom. Or a straight line with a curtain or a curtain line. So it's, everything in the middle is the same.
How are we gonna pay for this?
They have the champions, she said the champions are working on paying for these.
Yeah.
Caleb might know a little bit more about it. I don't know if she's working with the Legion. I couldn't quite remember.
I was trying to recall her. I know that we've been devising a plan to pay for these. I don't know if we've secured those funds yet or not, but I believe there's intention for the champions to figure out how to cover the cost.
Yes,
Okay,
And how many are there gonna be?
I do not know that answer. They typically will go on the light post. I don't know how many there are.
Is it 18 or 19?
More than that, but probably 19, I think.
Right. Do you remember how many total heroes banners there was?
I know off the top of my head, I can't.
Come on, I'm just kidding.
Can't remember for sure.
So
I believe less than 30.
Good state.
Probably no more than 30, but yes.
the only comment is, we don't have a lift to bring, that has to be hired out.
Okay,
So That's.
So when we did
understood.
the
It adds a fairly significant expense to Public Works.
How much is fairly significant?
Well, we were actually lucky to get Stephen Nass's truck, but I can't put a worker on his piece of equipment because it's not certified, so if it failed. The village would be in all kinds of trouble, so,
He did it, didn't
yeah, I said I can't put anybody on that.
So how did we get the heroes banners?
That was done by a private, just, yeah, I'll go and do it, but I just, that guarantee might not always be there,
Okay,
a guy with a bucket truck.
so just,
So you're saying we need to buy a bucket truck?
no.
Where are we gonna put a bucket truck?
No, we don't want to.
Your front yard would be good.
I got, my angle's horrible on mine, it'd be a bad spot to roll right down there.
So, yeah, what I think we should consider is talking with the champions about raising funds to get
To
these
maybe-
swapped out.
Okay.
Is there a village insurance concern with having a private group do that work?
As long as it's approved by the board, it's not gonna be an issue.
Well, I'm more worried about liability side, that they say, well, I was holding on to the hanger and I fell off 15 feet down to the ground and broke my neck. I'm suing the village,
There'd have to be a negligent on our end,
NDA or something, or
have a deficiency,
police.
which, like, not where if somebody got hit by a car, it's. At their own discretion or free will to do that, so.
Sure. Cause I think we can probably, I perceive we can find citizens with proper equipment to do this work that would be kind enough to do it. As a part of not incurring costs of the village.
I think people would be more inclined to donate to the Champions cause versus, you know, the Village of Somerset, you guys can afford that, and donate anything to you.
Right. So, yeah,
So we wanna run all three of these to the, so as far as for the welcome banners,
I would prefer
Just the two.
just to run it down to two if you can, because the more options you have out there, the longer the meeting's gonna take.
I like one and two. I
you
do.
like one and two?
I do.
Yeah, gotta make a motion to send design one and two. The village board for consideration.
second,
first and second, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Public Works Department report.
Any major highlights, Bob?
No.
Was
What are you
this-
saying for salt?
Good.
Okay, good.
I heard there was a shortage.
Yeah.
We clean.
I know, we got
Bob.
private companies struggling to find it.
We got our private,
Two private companies, yeah. One of them said that St. Croix County bought all of it in the region and they can't find anything.
they go up to Morton just like we do, so, but.
Which building lost the heat?
One with, like, you know,
The Kurt
yeah, there you go. Process, I don't,
what do you call that thing? What's the technical term?
The chopper.
Kurt
process room, pre-treatment area, but,
You can watch it on the video if you wanna get a tour inside of it.
not really, the only other thing was. Our Gravely lawnmower that has a snow blower connected on it, I mean.
The only one that can fit across the bridge.
That shot, so we're looking at just a walk behind snow blower.
Like a nice 2-speed heavy duty guy. I noticed Lane shoveling.
Yeah, he loves it.
That was a good job.
I've seen him 3 times out
And
there.
I should be paying you, I'm getting a core workout and this and that. Might have buy him a new shovel, so.
Oh,
Worth it. Is there any help, is there any help the public can be when we have stuff where the drains, I saw, where we got that rain and stuff, the drains were clogged, is there any help to like saying, oh, hey, clear your drains, cause we had to adopt the fire hydrant there for a little bit, is there?
Yeah, and that's unfortunately there, cause our toolcat was leaking oil so bad that a lot of that didn't get cleaned off the curbage, so we had a lot of dams. That. That are there.
This wasn't just, you fared pretty well compared to like New Richmond, it was pretty bad over there.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Nothing, okay.
not really.
Bob, the industrial park.
No,
It's like a skating rink on the street.
I know. Right, does anyone have any questions for Bob on his report? If, the only thing I had, to note on this budget, and I had already got clarification on it, is item 240, line 240 for machine equipment for repair. We did not spend $153,000 on repairing stuff, so that will be fixed.
Will that go to the board?
No, not until audit time.
But it has been planned. What's the pleasure of this committee?
Kilgore adopt the bill as presented with your noted correction.
Second,
Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright,
All opposed, aye, all opposed, nay. Motion carried, still will go to board. Any future agenda item? Did you get any?
Chuck's deliberation.
Is inspector coming here? Good. Anything else this board thinks we need to get on there?
make a motion to adjourn.
second,
Motion to adjourn has been made with a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:57.
Thank you, everybody.